This week at Interior, President Trump took part in the 400th anniversary celebration of the Virginia General Assembly this week. It was on July 30th, 1619, that the first 20 burgesses, or delegates, would convene at the Jamestown settlement in the Virginia colony. They would become the model for representative democracy in the New World.
In the decades that followed that first legislative assembly, the democratic tradition established here laid deep roots all across Virginia. It spread up and down the Atlantic coast. One fact was quickly established for all time. In America, we are not ruled from afar. Americans govern ourselves.
Grants to the nation's insular areas are paying big dividends. Interior has released a report showing that more than $700 million in grants and payments to these island areas has returned nearly $900 million in benefits. That includes better health care, education, infrastructure improvements, and nearly 27,000 jobs. See the full report at doi.gov/OIA. $20 million in federal and matching funds will benefit migratory birds from coast to coast. There are nearly 400 species of neotropical migratory birds that travel to and from the United States each year, including songbirds, shorebirds, and birds of prey, and they need wintering grounds to survive. The funds come from the Neotropical Migratory Bird Conservation Act. Get the full story at fws.gov. The Bureau of Land Management this week announced that it accepted jurisdiction of the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse from the U.S. Coast Guard. The lighthouse, which was built in 1860, is a prominent feature of the 120-acre outstanding natural area. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse has more than 80,000 annual visitors. See the whole story at blm.gov. Secretary Bernhardt welcomed more than 50 students and recent college graduates from the American Conservation Coalition to the Department Library. The group was in Washington to discuss conservation and the environment with officials from the administration and members of Congress. Welcome aboard to Rob Wallace, who started this week as the Assistant Secretary for Fish and Wildlife and Parks. Also to William Perry Penley, who will now be exercising the authority of the BLM Director as delegated by Secretary Bernhardt in a Secretary's order. Get more information at doi.gov. This week marks the conclusion of the World Scout Jamboree at Bechtel Summit in West Virginia. A total of 76 Interior employees from the National Park Service, Bureau of Reclamation, Bureau of Land Management, Fish and Wildlife Service, and the Office of Surface Mining, Reclamation, and Enforcement worked tirelessly to support the Jamboree, which welcomed more than 45,000 scouts from 160 countries. And our social media picture of the week this week is a video. And what a video! An underwater view of a tropical rainstorm passing over a coral reef at Palmyra Atoll National Wildlife Refuge, halfway between Hawaii and American Samoa. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's This Week at Interior.